What is up, pourers, floorers, and Dora the Explorers? Thanks for sitting down at the table with me this week. Today, we're going to be playing The Guild of Merchant Explorers, which is published by AEG and designed by Matthew Dunstan and Brett J. Gilberts. And in The Guild of Merchant Explorers, if you can believe it, we're going to be doing some exploring. And normally I like to start my videos with a teach of the game, at least of the very basics, to get you acquainted with what's going to be going on. But I think that this game actually works delightfully with a rolling teach, where I'm just going to start playing the game, and I'm just going to explain things as they happen. So that way we don't have to do any sort of front loading of information where, you feel overwhelmed at all of the rules handed to you at once. Instead, we're just going to take it one turn at a time and explore this land together and have a good time, because this game really is, a little treat, a little croissant of a game, if I do say so. Every turn in this game, you're going to be flipping over the top card of this exploration deck. And now the one that I've just drawn corresponds to this space here, which is explore 2 desert spaces, and they don't necessarily have to be adjacent to each other. Where do we start from? Well, we start from our capital city, which is right here. Every other cube that we place, these little explorer cubes here, need to be placed adjacent to another cube or adjacent to a village, and I'll explain how villages work when we get to them. So I need to put 2 cubes down on 2 desert spaces. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 down here and 1 down here on this coin space. Now, whenever you cover up a coin space, I think if you've ever played a game before, you can imagine what might happen. You get yourself a coin. I wasn't sure how I felt about these things at first, but I actually have grown to like them quite a bit. Like any game that follows the universal rules of board gaming, money is points. Points is how you win, and your score can get quite large in this game, especially if you're an elite gamer god like me. So whenever you cover up a coin space, take one of those coins and just, set it down. Mine are going to be slightly off screen, but you know what? Why don't we just make some room here? These don't need to be all on screen. Bam. There is my 1 discrete coin. And that's the turn. I'm done. Now, much like Dora the Explorer, I'm going to flip over another card, and I want you to tell me what you think I need to do. That's 2 grasslands that don't necessarily have to be adjacent to each other. What do you think I should do? I'm not going to pause for a panderingly long amount of time. You get the joke. It's done. I need to place 2 cubes on grassland spaces, and those cubes need to at least start adjacent to a cube that already exists or my capital here. So I need to place 2 cubes, once again, on 2 grassland spaces that are adjacent to an existing cube or my capital, which sort of acts as a village, which again, we'll talk about as it comes up. This would actually be a good time to talk about these goal cards here. The way that the solo mode works in the Guild of Merchant Explorers is there are these goal cards, which exist in the multiplayer game as well. But in the solo game, you're basically racing sort of a random clock to try to score the higher version of these before the lower version becomes the only thing that you can score. And so my goals for this game is to discover a village on a region of 5 spaces or larger, place 2 trading posts in cities valued 3 or greater, and discover 5 villages. So a lot of that probably doesn't mean that much to you right now, but don't worry. We're going to go through all of it as we play. For now, I am just going to place a cube here on a coin space and another cube here, covering that up, and I'm going to grab another coin. And just like that, we're drawing another card. Now, this is a delightfully flexible one. It's just any 2 adjacent hexes. So what would be ideal here? I think what I'm going to do is show off a couple things. I'm going to place a cube here, and I'm going to place a cube here. Now, something that I've done is I've covered up this little discrete region of grassland. And whenever that happens, you can remove a cube as long as it's a blank space, meaning there's no coin space on it. And you can put a little village there. That's great. Not only does it score you points, which in this first era that we're in, it scores me 1 point. What villages also do is they act as sort of outposts, because at the end of every era, which is when we run out of cards here, all these cubes are going to disappear. Our explorers have died, gotten married, started jobs at accounting firms, and so we only have the homes that they've built to remind us of their existence. So having villages further and further away helps you continue to explore out and continue to do all the things that you need to do. So villages are great. we've placed one there because we've covered that discrete region of grassland. And now what I also covered was this city space here. You can see it has a number on it, which refers to how it scores. How do you score a city? Well, what you do is you have one cube, cover one of them, and then you want to connect it with an unbroken chain of villages, explorers, and your capital space. And then you're just going to multiply whatever city you connect it to. So for instance, if on a future action I covered this space here, I would see that this is an unbroken chain coming from this city through my capital to this city. I would multiply 2 by 2, which is 4, and I'd get 4 points. And that's it. Pretty simple. And so I think covering that spot is a fine way to get started, because I do need to place trading posts on cities. Granted, they need to be on value 3 or higher, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. One discrete cube at a time. This exploration card is simply 3 ocean spaces, sea spaces in a straight line. Let's see. How do we want to do it? Where do we want to go? Yeah, I'm going to go here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm doing that for a few reasons. One, it gets me close to this ruin space, which is another mechanic that I'll explain when we get to it. 2, it gets me close to this land here. And this land has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this little region. And one of my goals is to discover a village on a region of 5 spaces or larger. So that kind of sets us up there. It's also a city with a value of 3, which is another one of my goals. So trying to knock these things out, you know, sort of concurrently, I think is the big method to success in the solo mode, because once we get into Era 2, it can be quite quick that you start getting denied points. So yeah, max efficiency is my name, and cube placement is my game. Let's keep playing, please. This card is a mountain space. You just get to place one. I don't know why mountains are so coveted and pure in this game, but they really, they hold back on you. So I can only place on one. I suppose I could place here, which would get me a coin. I don't really see a better placement. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to get myself a little coin, which, as we all know, is a point. Points is how you win. All right, so this is just sort of funnily worked out. The last card I drew, which is not always going to be the case, but this time it was, is the Era 1 card. Whenever you draw an Era card, you grab the investigation deck, you draw 2 cards, and you pick one of them. What's in the investigation deck? Well, let's turn it over and take a look. In the investigation deck, you're presented with 2 choices. You can see I have one here that says explore up to 5 sea spaces, and you can see I have another which says explore up to 2 mountain and 3 grassland spaces in any order. Now, I get to choose one of these, and what's really sick is that it's going to get placed here by my player board, and now in future rounds, every time we draw the Era 1 card, I get to do this special action that is unique to me. So in a multiplayer game, everyone's going to end up with slightly different variations, and it just sort of, you know, characterizes how you individually explore and gives a lot of variability to the game, which is a lot of fun. Given the things I need to do, I don't think I'm going to take the 5 sea spaces, because mainly what I need to do is discover a lot of villages and handle those trading posts. And seas do not count as regions. There's no placing a village on the ocean. As you might imagine, we are not roving pirates, unfortunately. So I think I'm going to take this one and put it down here. And so I get to take this action now, and then in all future rounds, I take it again whenever the Era 1 card is drawn. So I can explore up to 2 mountain spaces and 3 grassland spaces in any order, so long as I follow the rules of exploration, of course, which is to say placing adjacent to things that already exist. So I am going to definitely go here and here, which is going to get me a village. So let's just take care of that now. I'm going to remove this cube here because it's furthest away from anything that exists currently. And I'm going to put a village there, which is going to score me 1 coin. I'm just going to put 4 back. Take a 5 here. And then for the grassland spaces, where am I going to go? I could extend out this way. I kind of like that. It'll set me up next turn. Oh, you know what I could do? I'm going to cover... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover this here. 1, 2, 3. which again, I'm following the rules here. I sort of did that out of order, but this was adjacent to that, and so on and so forth. So the nice thing that happens here by connecting these two spaces here is that we have an unbroken line from this city to this city, so we get to establish a trading post. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these cute little tokens. I don't know how clearly you can see that, but they are absolutely adorable. And I'm going to go ahead and place it on this city. And just place my cube back on top, even though it'll be disappearing in a minute. And then I'm going to score 4 points because each city had a value of 2. 2 times 2, believe it or not, is 4. Now that we've established my math bona fides, let's go ahead and move into Era 2. Setup for Era 2 is very simple. You just take the Era 2 card alongside the Era 1 card, shuffle them up with the other exploration cards, trying desperately to maintain the framing of my shot here. And you shuffle them all up. And so now that we're shuffling up the Era 2 card, this is where once that Era 2 card is drawn, if I haven't completed one of these goals, one of them will be covered up so that I can only score 5 points from it rather than 10. And you're essentially trying to hit a goal score in the solo mode. I think 50 is easy, 120 is standard, and 150 is hard. So I hope to do standard, but we will see. Anyway, the second thing that happens is all these cubes get brushed off the board. The sands of time, withering them away. Our trading posts and our villages stay, evidence of our fragile, transient existence. And before we think too much about that, we continue on to Era 2. Our grandbabies are exploring now. What will they find? Probably more villages and money. So let's see what we flip. Hopefully it's not immediately the Era 2 card. It's not. It's the 2 grassland spaces, which is great. I realized that I thought I was very cool exploring over here, but I can't get over there now because the era's over. So, you know, ignore me being a goofy Gus. I'm going to have to work my way back over there, but that's all right. We got time. So 2 grassland spaces, going from a existing village or the capital. Well, I don't have much choice, unfortunately. So I guess I'm just going here and taking a coin. Now, you can't found a village where there already is one. I'm going to put back 10 coins and just take a tenner. So nothing much happens there. I just cover up those spaces and go again. All right, 3 C spaces. Let's go ahead and go 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go out this way this time, just for different vibes. And the reason I'm doing that is for the exact same reasons as up here. There's this region of 5 here, and it's possible that I can fill that region with this Era 1 card. So let's hope that we can make that happen. Next card. All right, 2 of any terrain adjacent to each other. I think what I'm going to do is just go boom and boom. That'll get me 2 coins and then set me up pretty nicely for my Era 1 card to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and just, you know, rock it. You know what I'm realizing is that I should have connected this. I should have put a trading post on this city, and I'm going to change that now. And the reason for that is that you can connect either of them. The reason to do that is that in order to establish a trading post, there have to be no trading posts between the 2 cities you connect. Seems likely I'm going to connect these cities this round, so I want to make sure that I can do that. So slight, you know, rewind there, but we'll be all right. All right, next card. 2 desert spaces. Speaking of, I think I'm going to do exactly that and go boop, boop. Cover up those so that when I can connect here, we'll be good to go. And you know what? I'm actually wondering if I should cover up this with this cube rather than covering this up here, because it's more important. I am going to do that. Sorry for all this rewinding. I'm using this from our previous any 2 action to go here. And the reason for that is not just to connect these cities and achieve this goal, but because if I want to place on a village space of 5 or greater, I have to fill all of these. And it doesn't really matter if I get a village here. So let's do that. We lose a couple points for a second, but hopefully if we don't draw the Era 2 card right now, we'll end up getting more points down the road. All right. Just as well, we draw a mountain card, place right there, and get 2 coins anyway. Notably, something I missed is that we did connect these cities. Sorry, I'm all sloppy over here. We're going to move this, grab us a grasslands trading post, slaughter there. That sounds like I said slaughter. No. I'm going to place that there and get 6 points, which is great. And on top of that, that's our first trading post for 3 or greater value. So hopefully we can grab another one of those maybe down here before the bot snags it from us. All right. I want everyone to grit their teeth and pray that this is our Era 1 card, not the Era 2 card. Yeah, it is the Era 2 card, unfortunately. So what happens is this Era 2 covers this up, so we will not score 10 points for this village space of 5 or larger. Large bummer, but what can you do? Exciting though, we get to draw a new special card. Explore up to 3 spaces connected in a line adjacent to 2 different villages, or explore up to 1 sea and 3 mountain spaces in any order. Interesting. So we can explore in a straight line of 3 spaces from 2 different villages or the mountain. I'm going to do this one because it just sounds interesting and fun. And I like interesting and fun. Put that there. And then unfortunately we're going to draw Era 1 card, just 1 turn too late. We can explore 2 mountain and 3 grassland spaces in any order. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's going to get me 2 coins there, covering up those 2. I'll just put this back for a 5. It's just started raining outside my house, and it's absolutely delightful. It does not rain nearly enough in these parts. Okay, cool. And then we'll go ahead, and I'm faced with a choice here. I think I'm going to take the more immediately profitable one, which is I'm going to cover this space here, and I'll explain how in 1 second. And this space here, which is going to get me a coin there. And then I'm covering this discovery tower, which acts as a wild space, so any terrain works for it. And when you do cover it, you get a certain number of points depending on what era you're in. I'm in Era 2, so I'm going to get 8 coins for that. So I'm going to cover it there. Take me 8 coins. Oh, actually, technically 9 coins because I covered up the other one with a coin. Fantastic. So now that I've covered up all the grassland spaces here, I can push aside 1 on an empty space, put in a village. Because we're in Era 2, we get 2 coins, so that'll take me to 11 coins there. So our score is currently 31. Alrighty. Man, I'm bummed out that we just missed that by 1 turn, but we do get 5 points for it. So we'll go ahead and do that. Cover that up just to show that we've scored it. And now we do the same exact reset as last turn. We grab the Era 3 card. We grab the rest of these exploration cards. We shuffle them up. We take all our cubes off the board, leaving our villages and our trading posts, and we go once again. I really enjoy the flow of this game. It's really simple, really easy, but feels like you have a lot of choices, and feels like there's a lot of variability. Game comes with like 4 maps. This is just the intro one, so yeah, there's a lot to explore here. Oh, you know what I definitely didn't do? I didn't do the Era 2 card. Well, that's fine, because this video is just a demo anyway. So, okay, here is this. This is a mountain, so let's explore that dang mountain. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to explore out this way, so I can hopefully get to this city. That's so funny. I was so tilted about the Era 2 that I missed the Era 2. Okay, well, there's the Era 3. So unfortunately, we're going to cover that up. All right, so that's going to cover that up, unfortunately, but we can still score 5 points from it so long as we don't dilly-dally too long. Let's see which of these we want. So we can explore up to 1 desert, 1 grassland, 1 mountain, and 2 sea spaces in any order, or explore up to 4 desert spaces and triple the value of any coins you earn from those spaces. Wow, that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to take that one, just because the money value seems huge. So, remembering to take that action, I'm going to place here for 1. That'll get me 3 coins. I'm just going to take them as they come. So 3 coins here. I'm going to take another 3 coins here. And then I'll go 3, 4 for another 3 coins. So that's 9 total. I'll just send this back for another 10. Yeah, a 9-point swing in one card is pretty powerful. In fact, it almost makes up for us losing out on 10 points. All right, 2 desert spaces that don't necessarily have to be adjacent to each other. Let's make it happen, Cap'n. Let's see. I think my goal this round is to connect this and this. And the easiest way to do that is by putting, I think, a cube here and here, and then a C space here. That's going to require a lot of work, though. Ooh, I don't actually even know that that's that doable. That might be tough, actually. Let's think then. What is more realistic? I could cover up these 2 here and just score a village, but that's only a couple points and doesn't really seem that worth it. Although discovering 5 villages is a goal. Well, let's just do that then, I think. If all else is equal. All right, I'll move that one. Do that. It's going to score us actually 3 points because we're in era 3. 3 points there, and now we're just 1 village away from finishing that goal, which is great. So we should be able to get the full points for that. All right, 2 grassland spaces, not necessarily adjacent to each other. I could just go right here and get 2 points, but what can I do that progresses a little bit cleaner? Let's go this way. I'm going to go here and here and get 2 coins, which I'm just going to send back 3 and take a 5, and then send back 2 5s and take a 10, and then I'm going to send back 5 10s and take a 50. Love to do a little conversion. All right, we'll flip over the next. 2 of any kind adjacent to each other. Whoa. I think what I'm going to do... Oh yeah, this actually works out nicely. I didn't even really see this. This is the problem with tunnel visioning when you play these kind of games. I'm going to go here on this desert space, which is going to finish it and give me a village. Then I'm going to go here on this sea space, so I'm 1 away from connecting that trading post. So I'll go there and score another 3 points. Yeah, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 villages, so I will score 10 points for completing that goal before the bot. So, neener, Mr. Bot. All right, next card. 3 C spaces in a straight line. Let's see. How do we want to do this one? I like going out here, I think. Maybe. Well, let's think. Let's think clearly, because we only have our Era 1 and Era 2 cards left. So with the Era 2 cards, we explore 3 spaces straight from villages. So I think I want to leave that there, just so I have the highest number of options. So maybe to maintain the most options for that, let's just do something like this. It doesn't get us any immediate benefits, but it gets us closer to here for our Era 1 card. And that's something. So there's that. Yeah. Okay, so it just has to form a straight line. It doesn't have to start from the village. It just has to be connected to the village in a straight line. So actually, that's totally fine. So yeah, I don't know for sure that that's the best move, but we're just going to keep it moving, keep it grooving. All right, Era 1 card. So 3 grassland spaces and 2 mountain spaces. I think I'm going to go... oh, this is actually kind of cool. Yeah, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 for the grassland. And then I'm going to go 1, 2 for the mountain. And because I've connected these 2 here, that's points, baby. That's 9 whole points. I'll go ahead and put a trading post there. Score me 9 points. Just send back a 1 and take a 10. And that's great. And now we have 2 trading posts on values of 3 or greater. So we'll score another 5 points, which is just dandy. Yeah, awesome. Love that, love that. I also covered a space that gives me 2 coins, so I will take those 2 coins. I'm doing this a little sloppily. When you cover up spaces, you should pause immediately to take those rewards, because you can get a little jumbled and out of order, like I have been a little bit. So the game is smart. The game knows how players be playing. So yeah, just be cognizant of that. All right, we already know what this is. It's our Era 2 card. So 3 straight spaces in a connected line that are adjacent to villages. All right, so I know for sure I want to go 1, 2, 3, and that connects this city here. Is there a city under here? No, this one's already been discovered. So I could go, and I think I will go 1, 2, 3 out of there, and that'll connect those two cities and let me score 6 points. Oh, actually, will it? No, it won't. It won't actually. So hold on a minute. It won't because these spaces aren't connected, which is awkward. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Okay. Well then, oh, also, is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm going to rethink for a second then. What's a better way to go, if there is one? I guess going out this way, probably going out the ways that get me ruins is the best. And ruins is something we haven't covered yet, so we can cover that now. I know that this one here can go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do that. So whenever you cover a ruin space, you come over here to the treasure deck, draw a treasure card, and take it. What this one says is for every one of these cards you have at the end of the game, you score progressively more points. So a little rough that we're getting it in the penultimate round, but I haven't really made exploring ruins a priority, so really, I think I'm to blame on that one. Okay, and then the other 3 spaces are not super clear, honestly. I want to go 1, 2, 3, but that doesn't abide by the rule, I don't think. So we're up to 3 spaces connected in a straight line adjacent to 2 different villages. I don't know. In the picture, it looks like it needs to be in a straight line from the village. But if I go here, 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 that is a straight line, but it's not a straight line going out. I don't know. I'm going to follow the picture and just kind of rely on that. And if I'm wrong and I've cheated myself out of a point or 2, well, what can you do? All right. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't really see any connection. Oh, you know what? No, if I go 1, 2, you guys have probably been screaming at me. If I go 1, 2, 3, I'll get a coin. And that ends up being 5, which I'll send back to get a 10. I can connect these 2 cities. So those 2 connect for even better 9 points, which is just delightful. So I'll cover that there. Score 9 points. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. I'm pleased that we were able to make something happen with that last little action. So we roll right in to the last section of the game. One more era. The Zoomers are on their way. Boomers and Gen X have had their try exploring the new world, and really they've done just okay. But now it's time for the TikTok generation to swing through, replete with ironic humor and just insane video editing, and really make us proud. All right, let's scoop all these up and grab this here. All right, now if I had a goal, which I do, because I'm a goal-oriented individual, it's to explore more ruin spaces, because in order for this treasure card to really mean anything, we need to collect more. So let's try to make that happen this round. I'm sure I'll immediately forget. Okay, so right away, we draw the Era 1, 2, or 3 card. So I get to choose which one I want. And I think I'm going to probably go with the one that is extending from villages, because those are the ones that let me go out to the sea. Oh, speaking of, when I covered a ruin space, which was here, I needed to put a little treasure marker so I don't forget that I've already explored there. All right, I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Reason being, it puts me adjacent to 2 ocean spaces. So when I draw the one that's connected sea spaces, I can make something happen with that. And when I draw the one that is 2 of any, I can make something happen with that. So it's something. I don't know that it's the best, but it is what I've gone with. All right, the Era 3 card. Era 3 is 4 desert spaces and triple the value of coins on those spaces. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4, just so I can make it onto this land. And that's going to be 9 coins, so I'll send that back for a tenner. Okay, next card. This is getting a little ridiculous. It's the Era 1 card. I did shuffle the cards, right? You were there. I shuffled them. Era 1, 2 mountain and 3 grassland. I'm going to go 1, 2, getting 2 coins. I guess actually I'm going to go 1, 2, getting 3 coins. So that'll end up with 6. And then I'll send those back for a tenner. And I'll send those back for another 50. All right, 101 points is where we're at. Okay, and now I need to do some grasslands. I can do 3. So I guess I'm sort of priced into just going 1, 2, 3 here. Yeah, I'll do that. Sounds good. All right, next card is 3 sea spaces in a straight line. And I didn't really consider... Actually, no, it's okay. It's not the best, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, covering that ruin space. Oh, look at that. That's very lucky. That's exactly the dream scenario that we want, is to find more of those. So that's perfect. Always rewarded. All right, next, 2 of any kind that are adjacent to each other. I think what I'm going to do is go 1, 2 here, so I can get a coin. And essentially what this does is set me up to nab this, which is worth 14 points. So I want to grab that this round before the game ends. Yeah, I think that's the best that I can do. So keeping it going, 2 grassland spaces. That's perfect. We'll go 1 and 2, because remember that these are wild. I'll take this off and put a tower there. And that's 14 points. I'm just going to take 15 and toss back a 1. Okay, we are rapidly approaching the end game. 1 mountain space. Let's see, is there 1 mountain space that really rules? I suppose this one does for 2 coins. Yeah. Oh, also, notably, we finished this region here, so we get to make a village, which is worth 4 points. So I'll just send back a 1 and take a 5 and send back 2 5s and grab a 10. All right. Second to last card of the game. It's Double Desert. We knew it was happening. I think I'm going to go 1 and 2 to connect these 2 for, 9 points. Send back a 1 and grab a 10. Put a little desert trading post there. It's all coming up. Zoomers. And the last one is our Era 2 card, which is the village one. So exploring out from a village, 3 straight spaces. Okay. Can I make any of these work for me? Yeah, kinda. I'm gonna go 1, 2, and I'm gonna miss out on 1, but that's all right. I'm gonna get a coin. And then I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 out from there, and then that connects those 2 trading posts. So that's another 9 points. So that's great. That is honestly probably the best end that we could hope for. A real happy ending, if you will. Okay. Another 9 points, which is 10. And that's it, man. That's the end of the game. Thank you for sticking with me through it. Let's do some final scoring. It's going to be really simple. We have 100, 140, 1. 141 points is our score. So, hey, we did it. We beat the normal mode on solo, despite getting pretty bad luck on the goals. In my first game, I got full points on all the goals, but didn't even beat it on normal. I got like 117, and I think normal is 120. But what I really didn't do in that gameplay was establish trading posts, and I established a ton this game. And I think that adds up to a lot of points. And that's even considering that I missed one of these activations earlier in the game. So, yeah, interesting. I wonder if our score would be much different. Probably just a little bit higher. But hey, we did it. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm actually realizing our score is 4 points higher because of these. It's 4 points higher. Good job, us. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, I love you more than these little cubes love to explore. I'll see you next week. Peace.